Okay, it's a new camera setup. So as I go through this today, sometimes you really don't know until you post it to see where the placement and the card layout is, especially if you have to keep setting up. The camera gets moved. Okay, so welcome to Channeled Messages with Sandra. Today is August 2023. I don't usually any longer talk about and post the dates. The reason for that is because no matter when you come across this video and you're listening, it's meant for you or someone close to you. And those are always the guidelines for these types of sessions. Whether it be for you, a friend, a loved one, even if you're listening to your own sign, sometimes it's a message for you to give to someone else. It's done on purpose. Messages always get to where they're supposed to go. You'll hear that little noise in the background. That's my fan. A little warm. How I know these things to be true is by feedback. I get a lot of feedback. You don't see it on here so much because I'm not consistent, which I keep saying I'm gonna keep trying, and I will. And I appreciate the ones that, even the ones I met in person or know in person. I thank you for the encouragement. So I know this, again, because of the feedback. Hold on to it. I've gotten feedback 5, 7, 8, I think I'm up to 8 years later, where I got a phone call 2 a.m. in the morning. 2 a.m. in the morning, my phone was off. But the next day, the woman said why she was excited to get in touch with me. 5 years ago, I gave her a reading, and some of it didn't make sense. And I always tell people, hold on to that. That's homework. You have homework. So, and sure enough, that weekend, that's why she felt compelled to call at 2 a.m. That weekend, the items, messages, I won't remember, but it coalesced, came together for her and for family that weekend. I appreciate it. The ones that tell me about it, even though you don't like it sometimes. I appreciate new subscribers. So yes, go ahead and like it. And that way I know, well, I do know people pay attention and read and listen, but go ahead and like it. It does help with the algorithm. If you like it, you subscribe and you share. I think that's about it. You're welcome to let me know in comments. I just ask for everyone, and I might do this at closing too, but be at peace. Be in a place of recognition, of peace, of beauty, of joy. Sometimes we can only notice it for a second, but that's okay. And then maybe not till the next day, and maybe a minute then. Recognize your life. Don't wallow in what has happened, what has harmed you. Those are actually psychic and intuition tips. Recognize the triggers. Acknowledge them. Say hello to them. Find out how they can help you. Find out how you can help them. Dispel, release, clear. Oh, sometimes we have to repeat going back and forth to them for quite a while. But we need to move on whenever possible. Move on every moment that you possibly can. And that way we can recognize our peace, our joy, our life. If you believe in reincarnation, which many people do, I don't know about most, but many people do, probably most, then you know it's, everyone says, well, I could do it better in next life. That's not the issue. The issue is to do what you can in this life. Your perception matters. You matter. You are needed in this world. Act like it. Oh, that's a message to myself too. Don't get me wrong. That is definitely a message to myself. Okay, so let's get started. We'll do one group card. I'm using today the Guardians of the Night deck and the Fairy Oracle. This can be a little harsh sometimes, or well, I'm kind of straightforward. I had someone say to me one time, you couldn't sugarcoat that? And I went, because I'm a medium also, so it was their mother that was coming in. I went, your mom didn't sugarcoat it. So, you know, we meet people where they are, even in readings, but if they have me give you a message, you have to, it's your message. You take it, you leave it, you don't like it, you move on. And then the fairy sometimes can qualify, can help with the extra thing. So just bear in mind, isn't that funny how we say, ow, that didn't really hurt. We're so conditioned. Bear in mind, if you can't see your card, I can take a picture of it. Oh, that's nice for a group card. I can take a picture of it and probably put it up in comments. So if you can't see your card because of the new, how I have this arranged, so good luck to all of us. All right, so for the group card is the Ace of Cups. That's just new. This is let's begin again every second. And it goes into what I just prefaced everything in my welcome little speech. Not really a speech, but you know. Welcome new. Change it up. Begin something. Call in new. Just call in new. And if you like what you have, the butterfly up in the right, well, yeah, right-hand corner. I know maybe for you, you're looking at it. It's left-hand corner. I can't tell sometimes. Yeah, I think if I'm facing the camera, it would be left. But this in the right-hand corner, that tells you what are you giving away that should remain yours, or perhaps would benefit more if it was in your possession, in your thoughts. So this is another reason why we have those rules of guidelines. You don't tell people where you live. You don't tell people how much money you make. You don't tell people what your next plans are. There are exceptions to that. There are exceptions to that. If you're looking to rent a building, then you put the word out. You don't post pictures of family members. Definitely never, ever, ever, ever of children. Because the Ace of Cups is also a reminder of the beginning of something, a beginning of love, the youth. This is the youth of creation, if you will. And it's also the change, because the feathers on the floor, the feathers, they're falling. So it could be a change of season. Watch what you're saying. Watch what you're doing. Go forward. Fill your cup. Fill your cup. And don't tell everyone. Stop talking about your business. Beautiful life. Beautiful life. When we can, we know that there's craziness in the world. But if most people would wake up and join together, we wouldn't have as much craziness. So that again is up to each of us individually, our journey. So when we say wake up, what does that mean? Well, I know what it means, and I'm sure some of you do. Ace of Cups as a group reading is shine the light on whatever is in the dark. Safety first, because I know some people have been abused, some people have had trauma, safety first in those categories, always. Okay, that is literally the group card. I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully you can see it. Again, I can see it in the camera, but I don't know how it works. Like, you might be able to see the wall over here. I don't know. My pen that I'm moving. All right, thank you. So we're going to start with Leo. I said the questioning because, you know, time is speeding up for many people, and it's definitely speeding up. The older you get, it just definitely speeds up. And it's not, sometimes it is, but it's not just because as you get older you think about, oh, well, I only have 40 more years, 30 more years, 20 more years. You don't know if you're going to live to 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. But the time is speeding up, so that's why this is a great card for group, and take it on faith that it's going to pair with each sign. I'm not going to reference it completely. Okay, Leo. Thank you. Leo, you got the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, we want to I think it's more than want to. I think it here is you need to. And need is always prefaced by you have free choice. We don't always have free will in this world, as we're finding out. You can't collect rainwater. It's against the law in New York and other places. So what's free will? Why can't you collect something that comes from the sky? So you have to pay attention to that. This is a need. It feels like a need to be conductor. So yes, Leos can do that, and they usually mean no harm, and they're usually doing it for a lot of people. They like it, and it satisfies them, and it feeds them. However, see how you're conducting or being the conductor in life. This shows us that come fall, you see the beautiful foliage? Come fall, things will be changing. You will be traveling. Many Leos will be traveling. This feels nice. And because it's the Queen, it's a reminder to take off your crown sometimes. You don't always have to be or act like the Queen, or even expect that of yourself. It's not even the point of how people feel about you. It's what, you know, how you are experiencing that as you look in the mirror and as you treat yourself. Okay, so your fairy card is healing. Now is the time for you to give or receive healing. Everyone has a natural ability to heal others. Yes, even you. That's perfect. Because take off your crown occasionally. And when you need, put it on. I have clients that I've had to tell, wear a tiara. No joke. They've worn it driving. They wear it in the gardening. They wear while gardening. They wear it in the bathtub. So make sure you're treating yourself. That's the healing. And yes, when we help others, we are healing. I just had a discussion with a lovely Leo yesterday about perception and how we treat ourselves. And this person is like-minded, and she believes that if we're helping others, or that's what it should be. It should be, how can I help? How can I serve? I agree with that, but you can't be doing for someone else if you're not doing for yourself. Sometimes if we're in a particular state of mind or place, time period, it does help for us to go out and help the next person before helping ourselves. Because you can't help another without helping yourself. You can't do it. Can't work at a food shelter, a food bank. You literally can't. I've done this, and it's not a bragging. People should do this. They used to always do this. If somebody was hungry, I didn't give them money. I walked them to the nearest deli and paid at the deli counter and said, get this person, you know, say I only have $5 on me, or 10 or 20. Then just, that's what you do. If that's the conductor, if that's how you want to heal, we heal ourselves by healing others. Vice versa. Okay, thank you, Leo. Moving on to Virgo. Oh, Virgo, you got the Five of Cups in reverse. Wait, hold on. I'll turn it right side up so you can see. So this tells us it's the metamorphosis of the heartache, the hard time is about to end. Doesn't mean that it's stopping, but there's a respite, there's a breather, there's a that time period of, oh my gosh. And we have to remember Virgos can be very hard on themselves. Virgos sometimes, some and not all. And males are different than females most of the time. Everything is general, but it's kind of, they invented the word stereotype for a reason. And it's not the same thing as why they invented the term conspiracy theorist. It's not the same reason. Stereotype means to put certain things in a category. And the category here is, it's time to accept a healing. It's time to move on from any pain. Shards of glass. What was so painful it felt sharp? Because this is in reverse, the Five of Cups for Virgos. It's time to move on. Okay. Let's get you your fairy card. I'm not doing these in reverse. Look in a book. Whatever your question right now, you'll find the answer in a book. The words you find will bring the insight you seek. That's interesting. What book am I reading right now? Oh gosh, I can't recall. It's something about time. And what I'm going to read next is the Emerald Tablets. There's several books on that. There's one person in particular. I don't want to say which one, just in case it doesn't pan out. So I'll read it first. Look in a book. This is just education. Read, tune in. Even if it's fantasy, you know, those romance novels or science fiction or just sometimes I know adults who will reread their favorite children's books when they were a child. Sometimes we have to go back to that place to heal. We have to go back to that place. Where were we happy? When were we happy? How did that work out that we were in the flow? But this is changing. This is changing, moving on, and going for it. Okay. Thank you, Virgo. Moving on to Libra. Libra, you're getting the World. The World is in reverse right here, but I have to tell you, I'm not hearing it's in reverse. So let's do it in reverse, because that's how it came, and then we'll add to it. Because I am an intuitive reader. That's the mediumship. That's the channeling. And if you want to, if you want to know about how I channel for the world, definitely contact me. Because I give a lot of world channels. At some point I'm like, well, what's the point? Because it keeps happening. It's like, I wish I could channel something and say, and people stop it, change it. And sometimes it's not so bad. So the world for you this is to take a pause. Because it's in reverse. Take a pause. Everything is at your fingertips, but it feels like you're, some Libras, maybe a lot this time of year, not recognizing it. It's like, well, yeah, I know I have a roof over my head. I know I have a window to look out of. I know I have food in the refrigerator. But it's not satisfying. It's not what you want. It's not what you hoped for. It's like, I didn't expect it to be this crazy or this lonely or this bad or this... Forget about the expectations. What are you doing now? What are you doing now for yourself and the world and communities? Libra's going to be very, very compassionate and generous. Make sure you're doing that for yourself too. And it has nothing to do with buying. It has nothing, because it's compassion in other ways. Self-forgiveness, just compassion. Okay, so what did you get? Divination. Embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity. I love that for Libras, because they're extremely intuitive, especially if it comes to where they need a balance. Because if the world is in reverse, there's a balance that is needed right now. Again, I've been telling people that if you can't see the card, let me know, and I'll snap a shot and try to put it up in comments. It's a new camera situation. Well, it's not a new camera, but it's a setup. The divination, this is take the time to embrace your powers. Take the time. This is take the time to go within. Take the time to meditate. Take the time to go without. When we say go within all the time, everyone says, oh, you're actually going out. You are and you aren't. You're doing both, and you can do both, and you can do more. This is set some routines. Set where you light your candle. Maybe not every day if you're busy or you can't remember, but get some sort of ritual and habit where you are saying the prayers, where you are sending up to your higher self. I'm not asking you to do it to anyone else, because that's a manifesting class, and you have to be careful who you ask for. A lot of people just pray to God, and well, which God? If you don't have it in your mind which one or whom, or even if you're saying, they say, well, there's only one, but that's not all that's out there in the spirit world, in other dimensions. There's other beings, if you will, that call themselves God. So if they hear the word God, their ears pick up. So make sure you know who you're praying to. That's all. Pray to your higher self. That's the easiest, that's the safest. And then we go from there. Okay. Thank you, Libra. Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. So, oh, I don't know how to take that. How am I take? I'm going to do that again. Although I'm going to leave it on the side. That was freaky. Okay. Because they're shuffled, so some can be in reverse and some not. Okay. Oh, that's so weird. They say just pick it up. So I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to read it in both. I'm going to read it in reverse and right side up. Six of Cups. This is, oh my gosh, everything's coming your way. Everything should feel like it's starting to come your way. Even the shadow side. Perhaps you've been working on it. Perhaps there's people around you that are helping you. And sometimes it's being worked on a higher level that we're not even aware of. That's why we talk about dreams all the time. In reverse, the Six of Cups is delay, 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 delay. That's all. It's a delay coming to your higher self. It's a delay coming into happiness and family. It's a delay. So that's a duality. That's yin and yang. That's the black and white. That's the light and the dark, the shadow and the love. So love and anger. This is some of you listening right now, not all. Some of you, but this is coming on strong all of a sudden. Some of you are playing with fire. That could be literal. That could be in your life. And it doesn't have to be playing with fire as in taking chances, although it can be, but playing with fire even with ourselves. It's always beginning with ourselves. Let's get the fairy card. Life energy. The happy fairy, oh, it's funny. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. That's funny. That's perfect for this card. For Scorpios, and you know the rules, I give the guidelines at the beginning. Even if you're a Scorpio, and this applies to someone else who's another sign that's close to you, this is their message. And this makes you the message giver, whether you want to say medium, channeler. Just what's the rules? We always do it with compassion and love. We do it without ego. You do it without envy. You do it without self-satisfaction. Don't have a smile playing around your lips when you're giving a message that you think might, whether it's enlightening them or maybe making them dig deeper. So this, for Scorpios and anyone listening, this is life energy. This is beautiful. This is the balance for this card, because this card feels so off balance to me. It feels like it's both. It's good. I'm receiving and you're giving. You're receiving bad. You're giving bad. You're receiving good and you're giving good. It just feels like it's too much. So this is the nice balancer. See, that's why we do 2 cards sometimes. All right, thank you, Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you got Justice. Again, I say to everyone, you can go back and listen to the group card. It does pair with each sign. You don't have to. It's just in addition. And it's a new camera setup, so if you want a particular picture, let me know. I could snap. I could probably put it in comments. I believe I can. I've never tried. So Justice, Sagittarius, see where you need justice. If somebody, you know, it's free choice. I'm not going to say free will anymore, because we're having an issue with that in the world. Everyone wants to say free will, but it's not. If you're not allowed to go someplace, or or things are being changed. In New York, I always say we're not allowed to collect rainwater. Why the hell aren't we allowed to collect rainwater? And that's not the only place. There's other places. So that's not free will. Can you still do it? Sure. But then there may or may not be consequences, which is crazy. We live on this place and we can't have the rainwater. So find out what's bugging you. Find out what doesn't feel right to you, what's not. Where's the justice in your life? Where is it? There are times, we've all been there, or most of us, and then most of us have been there multiple times. There are times where there is no justice in the way that we think. If it's a person or people, we sit there and say they get their karma, if you will, but they don't get it in this lifetime all the time. They get it. Karma is the life of the soul, not the life of the individual, or that individual life. It's a shame sometimes, because it's not even the justice and the karma that we would like. I'd like them to get it. It's the point of, one, we always want somebody doing something awful to stop. Then the second thing is, I used to think this way, and not to say I wouldn't think this way again. I'm human, kind of, sort of, right? We can forgive someone, but we still would like them to, maybe it would be helpful if we, especially if we know that that person is a serial liar, a serial molester, a serial thief, a serial, you know, fill in the blank. We would like them for them a torture, and that could be emotional. We would like for them to feel what we feel, just for 5 minutes, maybe an hour, just, and sit in that torturous emotion for 5 minutes or an hour or maybe a day. That to me would be justice, if we can get them to sit in that feeling. So sometimes you're not going to get it. However, on the flip side, if there's, go ahead. Don't forget, ask for your money back if you were shortchanged at the cash register. Because we don't use the credit card. That's only saved for emergency use. And even then. But so make sure you count your change, you count your money, respect it. Money is not the root of all evil. It's what people do with it, what people experience with it. Okay, so let's get your fairy card. We're doing the fairy oracle. Moderation. Not perfect. Is there something you know you shouldn't be eating? Try to eat mindfully and healthily, although the fairies say that a little bit of what you fancy is fine, which is true, right? So justice is some sort of equilibrium. Moderation, and that's just like the temperance too. This is the moderation. It's a snack every once in a while. I get better and better with my eating habits and the fuel that I put in my body. Because as we know, that's what most people the harm and the disease or this is that is from what we're ingesting and what's in the environment. And when I say most, I mean literally, I mean most. So this is a watch. This is pay attention. You're wanted. You're needed. Okay, thank you, oh, no, I'm sorry, that was Sagittarius. Oh, but if they had me say Capricorn, I'm going to say Sagittarius. There might be a Capricorn around you or coming. Just a heads up. I don't see anything good, bad, anything. All right, thank you, Sagittarius. Moving on to Capricorn. Capricorn, you got the Three of Pentacles. So, this is a card to reflect working hard. Whether you're working hard at a literal job, working hard just in your mind, there are times, and I've done this, oh, I couldn't tell you, I'm sure it's millions, billions, trillions of times in my lifetime, where I thought I was busy all day long, but if you went and literally wrote it down on a piece of paper, okay, I went to the kitchen, I made my one business phone call, and that you realize that you really didn't do as much as you think that day. So the Three of Pentacles shows hard work. This is showing collaboration. If there's collaboration in the works, in the networking, what do? We make sure that we're as like-minded as possible. Depending upon the business, you don't really want 2 or 3 people thinking exactly the same. You want somebody thinking differently. So that's what, not just for good discourse, but that's how you come up with good ideas. If everyone thinks the same, then everyone's going to have the same idea. That can't always promote a business or a family or whatever you're doing in life. That's why diversity is so wonderful, depending upon how it's displayed and used. Okay. Capricorn, your fairy card is Tree Wisdom. This tree dryad will help you navigate through your current situation. Her flute can reveal insights and answers through the sound it makes. If you're looking for a new job, new work, more money, abundance, even more people, this is listen to your inner wisdom. This is listen to the music. Most people at some point in their lives have had a dream or with music or sound or somebody calling out to them, whether their name or something else. This is a reminder to listen to the music. Not necessarily what's on the radio, unless you like something and it makes you happy, makes you get up and move and dance. That's fantastic. But this is divine music. This is celestial music. If it's flute, that's fine, but anything, classical music is great. You just got to find the right one. If it's not your cup of tea, just find the right one. And sometimes it's only 5 minutes of it, 15-minute classical music piece. So, Tree Wisdom, get out, get out. Capricorns, go out more. Just go out, go get more work. Just apply anywhere. People are hung up on not applying at what they would consider lower level jobs. If you or someone else you know is like that, it's just go. You need money. You need to be productive. The human spirit needs to be productive. We need that. Okay, there's always anomalies. There's always exceptions. There's some people that literally from birth to the time they close their eyes, that they just want to be on that mountaintop or peace. See what fits you, but this is definitely to find your inner peace. Listen to the music. I keep hearing listen to the music. Keep hearing listen to the music. Okay, thank you, Capricorn. Moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, you got king. Oh, here you go. You got King of the Wands. I'm hearing, from The Wizard of Oz, King of the Forest. What was he missing? Wasn't the brains, right? Was it the brains? No, Scarecrow wanted brains. Tin Man wanted a heart. The Lion wanted courage. What do you need courage to do? Because those wands are fire and passion. It's also thought and forethought, because to me, that's air. You can't have fire without air. That's forethought. And which comes in handy because what's that blackbird or raven doing? Pecking at the top of. So if you're not a doctor, don't never ever believe me or someone like me. I'm not a doctor. You're not paying me for that. I'm not getting paid to do this at all. However, either you or someone listening to is or around you is getting headaches. This is to pursue that. Pursue why. Again, not a doctor, but we know most illnesses, most anything derives from the food and the environment. Anti-inflammatories, there's a whole host of things, so I'm not going to go into it here. But I can only tell you what works for me. All that stuff works for me, to pay attention. Naturopath perhaps, you know, read up on it, learn. Everyone should be learning a little bit more natural stuff. Feels like somebody's been trying to get your attention. Sometimes it's us, our higher self, if you will. So who's trying to get your attention? Let's do, okay, shine from within. That's yourself. Looks are only skin deep. True beauty shines from within, and it's time for you to shine. This is a time for self-acceptance and for revealing your true beauty. King of Wands. And, you know, regardless, it's the gender only because it's the, that's the energy of the card. So, shine from within. You have the true beauty within. That's what, that maybe is what your higher self is telling you. Stop worrying about cosmetics. Stop worrying about clothing and this and that and spending money. You know how much money is spent yearly, monthly, especially by women, because, you know, we've been told how unattractive we are and how old you're looking. Men too, men too. This is it. This is it. Shine from within. It's the inner beauty. Inner beauty. Bring it out. Talk about it. Think about it. Find it. Use it. Utilize. It's your inner beauty that will take you through the days. Thank you, Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces. Pisces. So Pisces, you got the devil. In this card, in this deck, I have, yeah, in this deck, you know what I'm picking up? Someone's hiding something from you. Who's hiding something? They're hiding their true self. Now, some people, and yes, you could be hiding from your own true beliefs, your own true wants, your own true desires, your own true passions. People, you know, at 8th grade think, I want to be a dancer, I want to be this, and then they never pursue it. It never, until the day you die and close your eyes in this lifetime. Pursue your dreams. That's hiding from yourself. Now, this is also someone around you hiding themselves. So there's someone around you that's hiding something. What are they hiding? I'm going to get this. Purity. So this is someone young. Purity. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. That's the question, because who is it? Who's hiding something around you that you can't see? And if it's just, depending upon, you know, the Pisces listening, if it's just you, that's fine. Then that's where we go for the inner child. We go for the fantasy. We go for that. And if it's too much fantasy, which that could be, we hide that from ourselves too and just live in a fantasy world. This is, you got to put your heart back in your chest and move on. Someone doesn't really steal our hearts. For those who've had a love issue, someone doesn't really steal our hearts, although it feels like it. Oh my gosh, I know, been there a couple of times, I know. But energetically, put it back in your chest. Put it back in your being. Put your heart back in your soul. Well, your soul never really loses it. It's us. So, purity. Remember that you're a good soul. You're a pure soul. Damage that is done to us, and it is damage. It's temporary. We move on. We help others. We learn from it. Write a book. Trust the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answers to your questions. Any question that is because you see, they're both hearts. Any question about the person that's snake-like, or maybe they're just shedding their skin, because people will reveal themselves after a while. It's very hard for a con artist or somebody to keep it up for a long period of time. Yes, we're not talking about the sociopaths, the true sociopaths. We hear stories about them that their family hadn't a clue, and they were doing very bad things for 30, 40, 50 years. And it's like, we didn't have a clue. They were a good father, good mother, good, child, whatever. They didn't have a clue. Perhaps that's correct. I'm not going to comment that part, but this is move on. Move on. Watch the masks drop on people. Okay, Pisces, and yes, again, it can be your own. Thank you, Pisces. Moving on to Aries. Aries is a new setup, so I'm trying to remember to tell people this was the group card, and if you can't see the card as I'm holding it up or as it's here, let me know, and I'll take a snapshot of it. If I can put it up in comments, I'll do so. So, Aries, you got the Lovers. I'm hearing both. There's a lover leaving and a lover coming. There's also, pardon me, there's also, I'm not sure if it's a new baby or a new puppy surrounding you. This is a reminder because I'm seeing it. I'm not channeling a death. Understand that. But I'm seeing a loved one due to medical reasons, not a doctor. This is for some, that's not, maybe even only for one. Say there's 100 Aries listening. Only one of you is going, this part's going to pertain to. There's a medical issue that creates a lover to leave you. Again, I'm not saying it's from death, but it could be because they have to go into rehab for a couple of weeks. It could be even, a substance abuse rehab. Sometimes work takes people away for 3 months. People that work on oil rigs, God bless them. That's a rough job. Or easy, I don't know, but I know that the distance from family is rough. Again, I'm not seeing a death, but I'm seeing even perhaps an argument. This is a reminder also that it's always love. We don't have to hang out with certain family members or certain people if they're harming our hearts and our emotions. Sometimes we just take a break. Other times they need to be removed. And sometimes they need to be removed with a pinch. I'm not telling you to pinch anyone. You don't pinch anyone. But, you pinch it off. You pinch, how do you pinch off thorns on a rose? Well, usually you knock them off. But let's get your fairy card. Oh, yep. Wish wisely. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. So for the love, to have more love, say you're one of the ones that are listening and you're like, I've been married for 40 years happily. With some ups and downs, but happily. This is still wish wisely for the love that's coming. There's more love that's coming. Wish wisely. The old adage about wishing for $1 million, right? And the person turns around, there's a million deer bucks in their house. So we wish wisely. Okay. All right, but that's love coming. Thank you, Aries. Moving on to Taurus. Taurus. Taurus, you got the Wheel of Fortune. So this tells us a couple of things. One, you need to activate your third eye, your intuition. Something's going on, and it's almost like, I like this deck because it reminds me of the camera lens, the closure. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the terminology, but the lens that, it closes almost like a pedal, but like at a turn. That's what it reminds me of. So make sure you're seeing things clearly. Make sure you're seeing things as you want them to be. And also at the same time as they really are. We so often lie to ourselves because if that's a third eye, let's say. Because what's the Wheel of Fortune? The Wheel of Fortune is not just fortune, as in everything coming your way, but this is, it definitely is a little good luck coming your way. Good news, good things. And probably within a month, I'm hearing within a month, there's something new coming. But this is wisdom also, because what do you have here? You have the snake in the middle, you have bats, you have the spiders, and spiders, we know that's life, that's the web. You have owls, which is the wisdom. So, I hope you can see. I'm telling everyone that if you can't see it, let me know, and I'll take a snapshot of it and see if I can put it up in comments. I don't know if I'm allowed to. This is eye-opening. I keep hearing eye-opening. I'm not seeing that lens of the camera closing. I'm actually seeing it opening, and this is eye-opening. This is seeing things as they really are. This is seeing truth. Okay, so your fairy card says friendship. Fairies and humans alike need friends. Now is the time to seek out those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. I love that. I love the card. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at it. So this is seeing people in your life, or seeing the world, seeing the things for those who haven't been seeing the world recently, especially in the last 3 years, as it really is. This is the time, so be kind to yourself if you're one of the ones that will be awakening. If you're already what they term awakened, that's it, awakened. There's so many words. This is a reminder that you need like-minded. You need a lot more like-minded. You need those who will support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. So that's the issue with the Wheel of Fortune, though. Wheel of Fortune is also karma. What are you getting in your life that is, what we put out, we get. What have you put out that you're receiving now that you don't like? Or what do you want to, how do you want to change that? And that's friendship. Always have the friendship. This is always a suggestion to people, because when it comes to certain relationships, we don't do anything at all costs to keep them. You can't. There's survival. There's peace of mind. There is also safety for some people. So you weigh it, use your own intuition. This is, when it's eye-opening, this is also trust. Trust in self. Trust your intuition. It's trusting friendship. But friendship is always honest. Friendship is always, they're honest with each other. I can't have a female friend, and a guy friend too, but a female friend in my life that says, oh yeah, that top looks great on you, because they're afraid to tell me it doesn't. Or one that doesn't tell you, yeah, you have spinach in your teeth. I can see you looking and then you just got distracted and you didn't mention it. That happens, because I've been in that situation. It's like, oh, I wish I would have told them. But, because I get distracted easily. This is ask questions. This is ask questions. That's it. All right. Thank you, Taurus. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini, same thing for you. I'm not telling all signs, I forget. But this is the group card, the Ace of Cups. It will apply to every sign. It's up to you if you want to go back and listen. You got the Five of Wands. This does show that there's going to be a little difficulty for some Geminis. And if you're listening and you're a Gemini and you know for a fact that this is a friend of yours, please use caution. We deliver messages with compassion. If you can't see the card because of the new, how I have the camera set up, just let me know, and I'm going to try to take pictures of the cards and display them for people and put in comments. So Five of Wands, this is change, this is upheaval, this is the water, the water is just, it's overflowing. This is, oh, it's, you know what I'm hearing? I'm an intuitive reader. This will not fly for everyone, but I'm hearing ghosts from the past are coming back. So if you don't want to hear from that person, if you don't want that job, you say no, you block, you do whatever, safety first, but you do whatever you need to do. And this card too is one of those that I say, pick up your tiddlywinks and go home, or just make sure you have all your stuff. Don't let it run down the stream. Or sometimes we have to run down the stream and pick up what we lost. Let me just get your qualifier. I'm using the fairy deck. Yep, see? Find balance. Find the balance between your work, rest, playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. So Gemini, this is a reminder to, of course, but the card said, but rest. Because sometimes if you're feeling upheaval, too much emotional at once, and sometimes it's the most simplest thing, it's like, why did that bother me? On average, most of the time, it's not the thing or that word or that person that bothered you. That usually means you were triggered. And triggered just usually stems from past trauma, past hurts, past haunts and harms. So we delve into that and we figure out what it is and we clear it up. And we pick up all our sanity, all pieces of our brain, and we find the balance. And look at her, she's just daydreaming. And so make sure you're having fun in life. Doing the work, but have the fun. Find the harmony, find the peace, find the sparkle. The colors in this world is unbelievable. And colors of someone's heart. Okay, thank you, Gemini. Moving on to Cancer. Cancer, you got 2 of Pentacles. As we know, 2 things. One, this was the group card. The group card will be paired with each sign's card. You can go back and listen to it or not. It's a new camera setup, so if you can't see the card perfectly, let me know, and I'm going to see if I can snapshot it and put in comments. 2 of Pentacles. This is a choice between taking a raise and not taking it. Taking the promotion, which may not be more money, but it's more prestige. It'll definitely be more work. It will definitely be more work. This is a reminder, don't keep going in circles and going in circles and going in circles. Come up for air every once in a while. Take your rest. I'm going to get the fairy card. Protection, because that's what I was going to go for next, which was, I like the qualifier before I say it sometimes. The fairies of protection are shielding you with a magical fairy ring of love and light. Practice psychic protection before embarking upon any spiritual work. Even this, a lot of people don't realize, even when you're going to listen, and that's how I'm going to start doing psychic tips. I think I've threatened that one also. Even when you're doing zodiacs or just listening to it, because if somebody new, or you surround yourself in a white light of love and divine protection and healing, or just from your heart you send out your own love to surround you. There's many ways to do it, but that's the best way, is just to surround yourself with love. That's it. Surround yourself with love, but this also tells us that you're having outside help, and you might very well be having earthly help. Because Cancer, I'm hearing that you need it to make these decisions. And if you're one of the Cancers, or you're one of the people that are listening that the decisions have already been made, you will be protected as much as possible, because a journey is still a journey. We don't like one decision, we need to make another. But you will be protected as much as possible from the other side, from fairies, from the realms, from higher self, from divine. But that card's beautiful. That's just love surrounding you. Cancer, you have love surrounding you. Recognize that if possible. Stretch your imagination if it's been a little hard lately. See the beauty in the flower and the colors and the sunrise and the sunset. And a bird and an animal. And a whisper. Music. And your reflection. Smile. Dream big. Cancer, dream big. Dream big. Make your choice, and not just your choice in business and love, because pentacles are usually material, but make your choice in your own mind that you're going to choose you. Okay. Thank you, Cancer. Okay, that's everyone. I want to thank you for joining. I hope you'll, especially if you resonated, but, you know, it helps with the algorithm if you hit like, if you comment. It's apparently it goes by the minutes, how many minutes a video was watched, and subscribe and share the video, and ask them to subscribe and like. But it's free will. The main thing is here, I like doing this. I'm going to start doing the psychic tips. If you have questions or comments, ask. Not about the reading per se, because then I won't remember the reading. If you want to do an extended from the reading, I can do that. But take it on faith that you can use your intuition to move on. Use your intuition for new. Use your intuition for your heart, the cups, your emotions. Balance that out as much as possible. You are good. We all, well, most of us, have good hearts. It's the rare person that doesn't. Most of you have not met somebody who doesn't have a good heart. Even, no matter how mean or cruel they were, on average, there's a piece of them that was good. It's still there, just dormant, or it was trampled on so much. Doesn't mean we have to talk with them or be a part of their life. Get your love cup. Your love cup. I almost couldn't say it. Get your love cup out. Fill it up. Fill it up with your own love. And I keep hearing that many of us are going to keep hearing messages from people in the past. Only accept them if they're given in the right way, if they're given with the right intention. Okay, that's the reading. Go have fun. Go work. Go play. Whatever you need to do to live a life. But just live it. Safely. We don't harm anyone else. Recognize the beauty in this world. Go ahead. Go play. Thank you.